Nigerian community in Witbank, South Africa, count their losses following last Tuesday's attack on their businesses, allegedly led by an association of taxi owners, and at least 21 people killed as violence sweeps across Iraq in a fresh wave of anti-government protests.
On Business News tonight, financial market experts expect central bank's new Treasury bills policy to benefit other financial asset investors.
For sport news, Nigeria's Golden Eaglets tackle Hungary this Saturday when they start off their campaign for the Under-17 FIFA World Cup.
Federal government seeks stronger partnership with private medical practitioners to achieve the UN Universal Health Coverage target by year 2013. It's a new storyline and the opening of a new chapter for the embattled former chairman of the Pension Reform Task Team, Mr. Abdulrasheed Maina, as he is arraigned before a federal high court in Abuja today and subsequently remanded in prison. Mr. Maina, who arraigned along with his son Faisal, faces 12 counts bordering on diversion of pension funds. His son is accused of operating a bank account which he used to divert various sums of money. The pair are to remain in custody pending the commencement of their trial on October the 30th and November the 6th.
The courtroom is filled to capacity as the former chairman of the defunct Pension Reforms Task Team, Mr. Abdulrasheed Maina, arrives to court along with his son, Faisal, for their arraignment. Maina is facing charges of money laundering, operating fictitious bank accounts and fraud. His son Faisal, who allegedly threatened operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) with a gun during his father's arrest, is also facing a 3-count charge of alleged money laundering by receiving proceeds of illegal businesses. One after the other, Maina and his son Faisal plead not guilty to separate charges preferred against them by the prosecutors. With the plea taken, lawyers to the defendants proceed to argue their bail application, but the prosecutor opposes the application on the grounds that the application was made before their arraignment. The prosecutor then proceeds to ask for the immediate commencement of trial, but the lawyer to Mr. Maina, Ahmed Raji, objects to the commencement of trial on the grounds that his client needs time to study the charges preferred against him. Although lawyers to the accused and his son Faisal were unavailable for comment, the prosecutor insists he is prepared for trial.
We appeared before Honorable Justice Okong Abang of the Federal High Court this morning, and we arraigned Abdulrasheed Abdullahi Maina and a company called Common Input Nigeria Limited on a 12-count charge. The charge consists of allegations of money laundering, opening and operating fictitious accounts and anonymous accounts, as well as conducting transactions or making payments, cash payments in excess of the threshold as provided by the law without passing through financial institutions. So it's about roughly about 2.3 billion naira and about $2 million US.
Justice Okonabang, while adjourning the trial of Mr. Maina to the 30th of October and that of his son Faisal to the 6th of November 2019, ordered the former Pension Reforms Task Team chairman to be remanded in prison custody, while his son is to be remanded in police custody.
And staying with legal matters, the Court of Appeal upturned the dismissal of a petition filed by the African Action Congress and its candidate in the last governorship election in Rivers State, Festus Sawara, today. The judge upheld the 2 appeals by Mr. Wike on the grounds that they were meritorious. The appeals were against the decisions of the Court of Appeal, reversing 2 decisions of the Rivers State Governorship Election Tribunal. The appeal court had set aside the judgment of the Rivers State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal that dismissed Mr. Awara's petition. The five-man panel consequently directed all parties to return to the tribunal to hear the matter on its merit. On the second appeal, the judges unanimously set aside the judgment of the tribunal, saying that the tribunal erred in its decision. The president is back in the nation's capital, Abuja, after attending the Russia-Africa Summit in Sochi, Russia, for 3 days. President Muhammadu Buhari joined over 30 African leaders at the summit, which focused on exploring and expanding opportunities in security, trade and investment, science and technology, as well as gas production. The president also held bilateral talks with the President Vladimir Putin of Russia, where both leaders agreed to put Nigeria-Russia relations on a fast track and pursue the completion of partially completed and abandoned projects initiated by both countries. They also agreed to start new infrastructure projects and expand trade and investment, security and military cooperation. Nigeria and Russia also agreed to work together to improve the efficiency of Nigeria's oil sector in a way that will see the rehabilitation of oil refineries through the establishment of a framework for a joint venture between the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation and the Russia-based leading oil company, Lukoil. And outside the country, Nigeria is affected in last Tuesday's attack in Witbank in South Africa, accounting their losses and trying to move on. 3 businesses were attacked and 4 people wounded, the last of whom have been discharged from hospital. The attacks followed a claim by a lady that a Nigerian allegedly held her captive for sexual exploitation in a brothel. Our South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia reports.
The calm after Tuesday's attacks in Witbank and Mpumalanga province seems to be holding, and those affected have been counting their losses. Ms. Obi Nawanachi, a motor spare parts dealer, is one of the victims of the attacks.
I saw a lot of people coming to attack from there. They started hitting me, and they wanted to burn me inside my shop. If I wasn't having a firearm to scare them and run outside, I should have been burned inside the shop. That was how I come out and escape. What happened, I don't know. Here around my shop, I'm the only in Nigeria. There is no drug selling in this area or in my shop or anywhere here.
Nigeria's Consul General in South Africa, Mr. Godwin Adama, accompanied by leaders of the Nigerian Citizens Association South Africa, was on the scene hours after the attack, where he met the local police commander, General Kekana, as well as the Nigerian community. We asked him the situation 3 days after.
Everything was okay by the time we left there. Yesterday I called again, everything was okay. In fact, the police people there told me that the town is as if nothing has ever happened.
I understand this lady who claimed she was kept for sexual exploitation claim that a Nigerian was responsible for that. Did we establish whether it was indeed a Nigerian?
Well, that we were unable to fully establish. What we are told there is that that restaurant is located in an area where there is one of the biggest brothels in that town. I went there, I think it's holding over 50 to 60 guests. So I asked,
owned by a Nigerian?
No, I asked who owns this brothel. Eventually I was told it's not a Nigerian. We all agreed that it's not a Nigerian. But what is there is that Nigerians hold around the area. They have that restaurant there, they have another games shop around there, and because they are always holding in the area, it will be taken that they are the one running the brothels. And